What is up, everybody? It's Verse here today. We're gonna talk about Nintendo and Nintendo's newest release, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So apparently, this game has been getting pretty good reviews from the actual game, how the game plays and story, but it's been getting pretty I guess the reviews have been tanked or the scores have been dropped somewhat because of how the performance is on this game, which is very disappointing because people are having this big debate whether the performance is because of Game Freak just not being great at optimizing this game, or is it because of Nintendo Switch hardware. So there's been this big debate. This big Nintendo YouTuber has started this. He's kind of spoken out about this. He says, "So are we blaming the Nintendo Switch hardware for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet performance problems, or are you blaming Game Freak? Asking for a friend." So there's been this big controversy on the internet about this new Pokemon game. Because there are clips of this which is just unacceptable. Like, this is the main one I saw. They got a lot of attention to it as well. Oof, the reviews aren't kidding about the terrible performance. And let's start from the beginning. Turn the volume off. Apparently, they go to catch a Pokemon. Then you can see the clipping. Like, everything is loaded in the background. Like, what is this? Jeez, let me play that again. It looks so terrible. Like, the bridge right there is like 5 frames per second. Then the bridge disappears and it starts loading again. Like, wow, that's just crazy. This guy was like, holy crap. Not sure I've ever played a game this poorly optimized, and I played a lot of games. And this is a mainline Pokemon game. Like, this isn't like some spinoff. This is the main team who made the Pokemon games making this. And it's just looks that horrible like that. Performance wise, just terrible. But then again, this is one of Nintendo's biggest, if not their biggest franchise. So, it's sad to say, but Nintendo can do whatever they want with this game. This game could run poorly, and people will still buy it. Like, I only turn my Switch on to play Pokemon games, pretty much, and it's like, people be suckers to buy it. I'm probably gonna be the same sucker. I'm probably gonna buy the game as well, even though they reported the performance issues. It's just like holding out for a day one patch. This is unacceptable. Cancel my pre-order. Yeah, this is wild. There's another clip of somebody catching a Pokemon, it seems like, on a bike. It says, what? Apparently, yeah, this is definitely some weird stuff right here. Pokemon is a franchise in which the last game sold 24 million, 10 times as many as the Xenoblade games. There's no excuse for this. It's blatant penny pinching. So they're saying the Xenoblade games perform a lot better than the Pokemon games. I was like, Pokemon makes a lot more, 10 times as much as any Xenoblade game. Yeah, they don't gotta try because people will buy their games regardless. It's like it kind of sucks because you know that you paying a full $60 for these games and it's gonna perform poorly by people who are paying free $99 for these games. They're not paying anything for these games. They can just emulate the games on their PC, and they're playing the games at a lot better frame rate, which is kind of crazy. The people who are legit still in the games play the games better than you can, and you're actually paying the company money for the games. Yeah, this is kind of wild. But let's see, what are people saying under this? On a serious note, I say it's a combo of both. Both is odd how people such as myself have been saying Game Freak half-asses visuals were basically made a villain, but when the press does it, everything is fine, and now it's the case. It's Game Freak, but why would folks let the opportunity to blame the Switch go to waste? This is an isolated incident. Major Switch games have been having performance issues. Bayonetta 3, Age of Calamity, etc., so I don't think it's too far-fetched. So apparently this is a trend where their most recent big releases, like Bayonetta 3 is another big release, has been having issues performing on the Switch. Ow. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope, that's another big release that just came out recently. Doesn't like it's running on a base Switch. Yeah. It's like if they announced a new Switch, I wouldn't complain at all. It's like I think the Switch has been out for long enough. They need to make a part 2 or a follow up to it at this point. Then again, it could be Game Freak because let's be honest, people gonna Pokemon is a hot selling game, hot selling license right there. They can make it can literally like half ass and it's still gonna sell a lot of copies. So it's like I don't blame them at this point. Have the people buy it and fix it later. It's like people gonna buy the game regardless. I think we're blaming Game Freak for what they can do with a piece of dated hardware. Still gonna put 1,000 hours in, so who cares? I don't think it's gonna really bother people that much. Like, I think it's gonna be like how the Fallout games were before in the past. Those games were like super buggy, but people love the game so much they're gonna play it regardless. So, like, this is clearly Game Freak's issue. There are other games that look much better, but also run much better. 30 FPS isn't great for everyone, but the Switch is more than capable at this level of graphics. Yeah, the graphics aren't even that like impressive for this game, so. It's like for this game to have performance issues is like really insane. Game Freak isn't even trying. CD Projekt Red got Witcher 3. Yeah, that is kind of insane. They got Witcher 3 to run on a Switch, but you tell me this Pokemon game can't run on the Switch perfectly, better than that. Literally, Witcher 3 is on a Switch. So I don't know how they did that, like what type of witchcraft they did to get Witcher 3 on a Switch, but even that's on the Switch and looks better than this Pokemon game does. After Xenoblade 3, Game Freak has zero excuse for not making these games perform better. The Switch needs an upgrade, but Pokemon graphics are not a hardware issue. Okay. Yeah, some of these games are like pretty impressive. Like this is Zelda Breath of the Wild. I think this is Zelda. This is what is that? This was that Greek mythology Zelda made by Ubisoft. I'm forgetting what it was called. Immortals, I forget, it was something like that. I don't know. Dragon Quest 11, and what was this? No Man's Sky, I believe. Game Freak just doesn't know how to make games that don't like portable games. When Nintendo releases a new, more powerful hardware, there will be no more excuses for Game Freak. I kind of wish they would just do that. Just make some powerful hardware. So you can really see, is it just Game Freak who's just like doesn't know what they're doing? Or they just really don't want to make console games? Or is it like just a Switch? It's just a Switch that is just too underpowered at this point. I'm blaming the Pokemon company. Game Freak just needs a serious boost in staff, budget, and time to keep up with today's larger game experiences. Someone has to throw them a bone here. They're operating on a double A level for one of the biggest franchises in the world, which is crazy. Like, why are they like? This is literally one of the biggest franchises, but they're like penny pitching. They're like trying to save some. It doesn't make any sense. This is one of the biggest franchises on earth. Game Freaks, the Switch is what it is. If developers shouldn't make software that runs poorly and say the hardware needs to be better, they know what it is going into the project. The software needs to be optimized and written for the platform. Game Freak are releasing 1 or 2 games a year and they're certainly not the best developers. The Switch is outdated, but I don't think Game Freak with powerful hardware would make a difference. So most people are just blaming Game Freak at this point. I don't know. It's kind of a mixture. Most people are just kind of blaming Game Freak more than the Switch is being outdated. I blame the gamers who buy anything we make mentality of the publishers, which is kind of true. Like that is kind of true. Like they know that these games are gonna sell just come from the track record. They don't really gotta really try that hard because people are gonna buy the games regardless. So. It's a weird time we're living in where you got in 2022 these games are struggling, especially at the mainline streamline from one of the biggest franchises is struggling just with performance issues, and people are still going to buy regardless because of how popular the license is. Game Freak, they don't have the passion anymore. Other devs have done much more despite the hardware. Yeah, Pokemon has been going on for the longest. Like Pokemon has been going on since I was a kid, like 1999. So 1999 to 2022. How long is that? That's like 10, 12, 15. I don't know. I'm probably doing the math wrong, but they've been making this since I was a kid, pretty much. So that's been a long time. Like, jeez, since I was like 10 years old, pretty much. So 20 years at this point they're making Pokemon games. It's a little alarming how poor Game Freak's optimization for Switch hardware has been. Ostensibly, they should have every tool and trick at their disposal to maximize every bit of the Switch. Admittedly underwhelming and current gen turns. Power, disappointing for sure. Yeah. I mean, like, it is what it is. People are still gonna play. People still gonna buy and play this game, but it's kind of disappointing that you're looking for the newest release and the game has have you seen like the game is just being just critiqued everywhere about how bad the performance issues is. Like, even like these mainstream outlets are talking about how bad the performance issues are. So, yeah. What more can you say at this point? Like, people are still gonna buy the game regardless. So, I'm gonna conclude it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Who do you think is at fault for this game still performing poorly? This mainline franchise of Pokemon, Scarlet and Violet. Do you think it's more on Game Freak's part that they are just like not really optimizing these games properly, or do you think it's on the side of the Switch's hardware just being so like outdated at this point? Let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video. And as always, thanks for watching and peace.